Teachers, what did a student say that made you lose all hope? I teach first grade, and every Friday afternoon we do something called How To Friday. Each kid stands at the front of the room and teaches the class how to do something. It's supposed to build public speaking skills. Mostly it builds chaos, but it's Friday, so we embrace it. That week, I'd asked them to prepare instructions for something they were really good at. Simple enough, or so I thought. Now, every classroom has one student who operates on a different frequency. Mine was Gus. Gus was 6 years old with the negotiating instincts of a hostage lawyer. On the first day of school, he traded a broken crayon for another kid's entire pudding cup, and I still don't fully understand how it happened. By October, he'd organized a juice box exchange with rates that changed daily. Whenever Gus raised his hand, I had a decision to make: call on him and lose control of the room, or delay him and buy myself time. That Friday, his hand went up before I even finished explaining the activity. I decided to save him for the very end. Rookie mistake. In hindsight, it gave him time to prepare. Millie went first. She taught us how to make cereal, which involved a very long section on choosing the correct bowl. Solid work. Theo taught us how to pet his cat without getting scratched, a presentation that ended with him showing us all of his scratches. Rosa explained how to do a cartwheel and had to be stopped for insurance reasons before the live demonstration. Bruno taught us how to whistle, could not actually whistle, and received a standing ovation anyway. Through all of it, Gus's hand never came down. It stayed up during other kids' presentations, which I chose to interpret as enthusiasm rather than what it actually was: a countdown. Finally, there was nobody left. "All right, Gus," I said. "Come on up. What are you teaching us today?" He walked to the front of the room like a man about to close a business deal. He had notes, actual notes, on index cards. "Today," he announced, "I will teach you how to get out of trouble. It works every time." I should have stopped it right there. I didn't, because some part of me needed to know. "Step 1, Gus said. Deny it. Not loud. Loud means guilty. You say it quiet and you look sad, like this." He demonstrated a face of such wounded innocence that 2 kids in the front row gasped out loud. "Step 2, cry a little, not a lot. 1 tear. 2 is too many. They get suspicious." Step 3, say a bigger kid told you to do it. There's always a bigger kid. Step 4, if the teacher is still mad, say you like her hair. Teachers love that. The room was dead silent. 22 6-year-olds were taking mental notes like this was a masterclass. I stood at the back of my own classroom questioning every decision that had led me to this career, this school, this particular Friday. "Step 5, Gus said, flipping to his last card. "If nothing works, ask to go to the nurse. Nobody follows you to the nurse." He gathered his cards, said, "Thank you for coming to my talk," and sat down to genuine applause. I did the only thing a professional educator can do in that moment. I moved on. "Okay, thank you, Gus. Very detailed. Does anyone have any questions?" I was praying nobody did. Ren raised her hand. Ren was the quietest kid in my class. Perfect behavior, tiny voice, the kind of student teachers fight over. In 4 months, I'd heard her speak maybe 6 times total. "It's not a question," she said. "It's more of a comment." "Go ahead, Ren. Step 6 is missing," she said. "You have to pay the class snitch so she doesn't tell." She folded her hands neatly on her desk. "It's 5 goldfish crackers a week. I'm the snitch." Every head in the room turned to look at her. Gus went pale. I walked over slowly. "Ren, what exactly has Gus gotten away with?" She pulled a folded piece of paper out of her desk like she'd been waiting all year for this exact moment. "Remember the glue in September? When Ollie had to miss recess for a week?" Ollie's head snapped up from the back row. "That was Gus. The mystery smell by the hamster cage in October? Gus. The whiteboard markers that keep going missing? Gus sells them at lunch, 2 quarters each?" She slid the paper across her desk toward me. "He stopped paying me 2 weeks ago. It's all in there. I keep records." I unfolded it. Dates, incidents, little check marks. Gus stood up, looked me dead in the eye, and said quietly, "I like your hair."